Hello, kids, and welcome to How to Be a Faux-lita, Part 3, Return of the TrAshley, or a Faux-lita analysis of some Hister-lita. Gosh, I practiced that so many times, and I'm so glad I said Hister-lita, right? That was a tough one. Anyway, to start us off, since it's a Faux-lita or a Lolita thing, we're going to show my dress. I don't know if anyone can see it. It's got a pretty painting on it. Probably should have put it so that I can see my own face when I did that, but we live with our mistakes. Okay, so I am your host, your girl TrAshley, and today we will be rating historical leaders based on how Lolita they are. This will be determined through a complex algorithm that is masterly perfected to analyze traits of Lolita, aka I'm just gonna go with my gut here. Yeah, it's all made up anyway. But we will also, I didn't do very much actual research for this. It is both historically inaccurate and Lolita inaccurate. This is also why all of the people mentioned are people I already knew some stuff about, because I didn't want to do real research. I really didn't plan my mouse well. We're going to move something really quick. Making last minute changes isn't stressful. Okay, anyway, if you don't like it, or probably most people won't, well, shut up and make your own. Also, let's say that your favorite historical leader wasn't on here. Also, shut up and make your own. You can do it yourself. I did it. That means you can. We will be looking at people in terms of their Lolita fashion, Lolita-esque attitudes, and Lolita-y impact. It will be on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being eat a Lolita, 10 being brand whore. And for reference, I would place myself at like 5, which is kind of high for a Faux-lita, but I do technically own a petticoat, so I gotta be honest. Okay. Lastly, and most importantly, every single last one of these important historical figures were all terrible. Every single one of them, war criminal. They all did war crimes, every one of them. We're not going to go into their morality. They're world leaders. None of them were good. Okay, anyway, let's start with Queen Victoria herself. In honor of the fact that people always say that Lolita looks like Victorian dolls. We will start with Queen Victoria. Now, good old QV was the queen of the British Empire from a very long time ago to a not as long, but long time ago. She reigned for 63 years. Oh, this is just some background, a little bit of background on all of them. She reigned for 63 years, which was the longest of any British monarch until recently, rip in peace. The sun never set on her British Empire because it was so big, because she colonized so many places. Again, not good people. She tried hard to take over the world, got pretty far. Let's see, what else? And she had strict, hard rules and tough morals, which led to the prim and proper Victorian era. In terms of Lolita-ness, she had the accessories. She had the attention to detail. She had the overall fanciness. She was against vanity, so points off, because being vain rules, and also if you're pretty, you should say it. But she did like rules, and lots of Lolitas like rules, whether they're silly or not. So, she also could appreciate a good picture. Overall Lolita score, 8 out of 10. Next up is history's favorite knife block, Julius Caesar. Now, Little Caesar, as I like to call him, was the most famous Roman ruler / dictator. He really liked war, big war dude. Fought a lot of battles, invaded Britain badly, won the Gallic Wars, starved some cities full of innocent civilians to death. Like, war was his kink, just like everybody in Rome, I guess. But he ended up getting stabbed 23 times for being too popular. So he was kind of the OG mean girl, like Regina George wishes. Little Caesar, as I said, was a total war dude. And he was, kind of ruthless. War is not very Lolita. Being ruthless is a little Lolita. And also, fun fact, when Roman generals did good in like one territory or whatever, they had this thing called a triumph, which was like a big parade. It was like party, and it lasted all day, and everyone got money, and there was some public execution by strangulation, and there was like food and drink. It's fun. Well, Caesar, being like the drama dictator he was like, no, I want 3 at once. So for those 3 days, he went super hard. He even dressed in purple and painted his face red, like a war god, like a Roman war god. So it's pretty cool. Also very OTT, if you ask me. It's got big OTT vibes to it. But he still was very, like, the baseline of Julius Caesar was war. He also wore sandals. So points off for that. Just, like, from my heart. It's not very Lolita, but it's from my heart. I hate sandals. Overall Lolita score, 6.5 out of 10. Now, in the same lines and in the same relationship is Cleopatra. Now, Cleopatra was also pretty ruthless. She was kill people less in like the civilians way and more in the like siblings so I can be in power way. She also was the last pharaoh of Egypt and the first pharaoh of the Ptolemaic dynasty to actually learn Egyptian. So that's pretty neat. You'd think she would know Egyptian, but since she was the Egyptian ruler, but that's asking too much. Or the other one, she knew, I guess. Anyway, she also was often defined by her relationships, which is pretty gross, and unfortunately, it is kind of Lolita. She was described as, like, beautiful and stunning and charming and, like, dressed to the nines, and she was, like, this, like, renowned, skilled seductress, which is really impressive because she was, like, the product of, like, so much incest, like way too much incest. Though any incest is too much incest, in my humble, correct opinion. It's amazing she didn't have a Habsburg chin. But to be fair, I couldn't find pictures of Cleopatra or paintings or statues that all looked the same. So I'm guessing there was a bit of propaganda on her looks put in there. But Cleopatra was a controversial figure. Nobody could quite agree on their opinion of her, which is much like Lolita, because sometimes people think that they're wrong people are wrong because they think Lolita's part of a play, they think it's a costume. Sometimes people are wrong because they think it's a fetish. Sometimes people are wrong because they just are mean. Sometimes it's all of the above. But anyway, so overall beauty and looks, positive Lolita points. Sexiness, appreciated but negative Lolita points. Lolitas are not very sexy. And overall impact and like lasting effects, I would say positive Lolita points. So overall score, I would put her at an 8.5 out of 10. I like her style. Also, I forgot to say this earlier, but if you don't know any of these terms or are confused, don't know what Lolita is, don't know how you got here, but welcome, congrats. B, go see my first video, how to be a Faux-lita, the first one. Link is in the top bar of the YouTube video of how to be a Faux-lita, the first video. The link is at the video, so if you get to the video, you'll find the link. Next up, staying in Africa, moving west and forward a century and a half, is Mansa Musa. I may be mispronouncing his name. I'm really sorry. I really tried. I really looked up these names, I promise. I can barely pronounce names from my own language, let alone another language. Anyway, he was literally the richest man to ever live. Literally, he was absolutely the richest. He was the Mansa of the Mali Empire, aka the emperor, and he lived right before the plague in the Middle Ages. We all know what that's like. Horrifying. And he was so rich that he influenced other countries' economies. For example, on his pilgrimage, his holy pilgrimage to Mecca, he stopped in Egypt for a second because that was like on the way, if you know your geography. And he spent so much money in Egypt, he crushed their economy. How, you may ask? I have no idea. Why? Because economics is black magic. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that to black magic. Anyway, he also built a pool in the desert for his wife. Allegedly. but I choose to believe it's correct. So overall, in terms of drama, he's got it. The clothes, he's got it. The fanciness and luxury, he's got it. The influencing other countries' economies, he's got it. The one thing is he wore sandals. -1 Lolita point. Overall score, 9 out of 10. Next up is the supreme head of the Church of England himself. Oh, I gotta flip my book around. See, I wrote this a little out of order because I liked my part on this, but anyway, supreme head of the Church of England himself, King Henry VIII. Now, he was the king right before Elizabethan era or Shakespearean times, if that's how you know stuff. He divorced the Pope. Oh, I messed up. Out of order. He was 6'2", which is too tall for Lolita. Apparently. Again, rules I don't understand. But somebody told me he was too tall for Lolita, so there we go. He divorced the Pope because he wanted to divorce his first wife, and the Pope said nope. So he divorced the Pope, which made a lot of people mad. So to really better his image and to really get on people's good sides, he got married 4 more times for 6 wives total. So that sounds really bad, but I promise he only killed 2 of them. Now, in terms of Lolita-ness, he's got the fanciness and the luxury and hedonism down. So bonus points. He also liked disguises, also bonus points. However, he was a jock. Being a jock is not very Lolita because, who'd want to be a jock? I may be biased because I'm not good at sports, so I may be bitter, but that's the non-jock experience. He also was sexist. He's terrible to women, terrible. So I would say probably -6 Lolita points, 1 for each wife. And you know what? -2 for both daughters as well. We'll throw that in there. Overall score, 6 out of 10. Now, it's time for a lightning round. We're going to go through his 6 wives, in order of divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. So first we got divorced Catherine of Aragon, paragon of royalty. She has been through some shit because she was embarrassed publicly, but totally got the sympathy of everyone ever. So that was pretty cool. So bonus points for doing that. She had interesting fashion choices. I don't like her hat. We'll go through that later. But anyway, overall score for Catherine of Aragon is 8 out of 10. Pretty fancy. Next up is Beheaded Anne Boleyn. Man, what a woman. What a shit stir. She created a whole new religion just for shits and giggles. I really respect that. Not for shits and giggles, but for power. I like her. She also wore yellow to Catherine of Aragon's funeral, to be petty. It's pretty fun. And she gave birth to Queen Elizabeth I, and I think that's pretty cool too. So, overall, she was petty, she was pretty, she had high standards, and she didn't deserve to be beheaded. So overall score, we're going to go with 8 out of 10. Next up is died Jane Seymour. When her son was newly born, she died. She got engaged the day after Anne Boleyn died, which is harsh, but probably not her fault, but it was probably King Henry the Spare. He wasn't supposed to be king, but anyway, yeah, and she also was the only one to get an actual queen's funeral. That's pretty cool. She did introduce. She was a mystery because not much is known about her. She died pretty quickly. She got married. She did introduce those weird hats I talked about earlier. She was a big proponent of them, and I don't like them, so negative Lolita points. Overall score, 6 out of 10. Next up is divorced Anne of Cleves. So she was the queen of her castle. She was told that she needed to get divorced because Henry thought she was too ugly, because he was incredibly rude to her when they first met. He wore a disguise and tried to kiss her, and she was like, I'm married, I'm not going to kiss a stranger. And he was offended that she didn't want to be assaulted on her first day of marriage by a stranger. So he divorced her, which is nice. But she got a bunch of money from it. She did get to keep her own castle. And she also got a spot in court still. And she led like the luxurious single life. And she was honestly pretty much an icon. So overall score, 10 out of 10. Next up is Beheaded, Catherine Howard. So she literally never did anything wrong in her life. She was 18 when she died and 16 when she married a gout-ridden, ill-tempered 40-something-year-old Henry. And she also did not deserve to die. And I have a lot of opinions on her, but she was a literal child. So her score is going to be a fight me out of 10. She did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. She liked a guy as a teenager instead of her nasty, full-ass adult husband. Don't at me. Anyway, lastly, we got survived Catherine Parr. She was the final wife. She saw him to the end of his life. She was an author. She wrote songs and books and stuff. And she was a big advocate for female literacy, which is pretty neat. She got Queen Elizabeth and Queen Mary to be reinstated to the line of succession. Mixed bag of outcomes there. We got Queen Elizabeth, we got Bloody Mary, you know. And she also got to keep all the pretty jewels and stuff when Henry died because she survived him. She was not very Lolita-y or fashion-y. She was more studious, so I'm going to give her a 7 out of 10. Next up is the one, the only, the surprisingly average-heighted Napoleon. Now, Napoleon named himself Emperor of France. Justifiably, I would kind of say. He was 5'6", so he was normal height for the time. Slightly short for this time, but still around average. And also, he was tall enough for Lolita, I guess, according to the rules. He wanted Europe as a snack and did a pretty damn good job getting it until he made the OG mistake and invaded Russia in the winter. Rip in peace. A true war guy. He came at a time when being fancy and proper, put together, picture of elegance, dolled up, stylistic, meant you got a front row seat to see the inside of your neck. So he had to tread carefully. But boy, did my man Nappy do it. He was a great general. He did some pretty cool war stuff. I don't know all of it. I don't like war very much, as you can tell. But he was also a romantic, and he was a poet. And he also was a big leader in ending religious persecution. He actually, fun fact, off script, he when he realized he couldn't make Palestine the Jewish homeland, he declared France the homeland of the Jews. He was like, you guys can just live here then. Like, I support it. Like, I think that's pretty neat, especially for the time. Like, good on you, Napoleon. And especially after the French Revolution, which really hated religion. So he was doing some good stuff for a second there. He did invade all of Europe. Again, none of these people are good, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. The ladies of his court introduced Regency-style dresses. The ladies being his sister, Pauline, who's the one in the green, and his first wife, Josephine, who's the one who looks kind of like disappointed. Both of whom may have been a little slutty, which I think is kind of cool. And also leads me to believe that Napoleon was also, kind of a little slutty. I like it. Not positive Lolita points, but I just think it's fun history. Anyway. So, I did a positive too soon. The drama of invading the world, positive. Romance is a bonus. Poetry is a bonus. And just the sheer ambition and flair for the dramatic is a bonus. I did that one too earlier. Anyway, being cool general. Not very Lolita, but it's cool, but not very Lolita, so neutral points, so meaningless, which is where the shrug came in. But yeah. And then bonus points for surprise crossing the Alps. I think that's fun. And although he didn't have elephants with him, and elephants are dope, but probably shouldn't be in the mountains. Hannibal. Sorry, cough. So although while I like elephants, bonus points for not using elephants because that's animal cruelty. But bonus points for the hat because I do like his hat a lot. I would make a cord out of it. Would it be good? No, because I'm a Faux-lita and I don't think that's right. But I like it. Overall score is going to have to be an 8.5 out of 10. Now, for the woman, the myth, the legend, Wu Zetian. She was the Empress of China in the 600s, and she was Empress only technically because she was queen consort and dowager and regent, but never like just queen in her own right, because she started as a concubine and just like worked her way up the ladder. But really, she's powerful enough, the ladder went down for her. You know what I mean? Sorry. But nobody in the world in their right mind would say that she led only by technicality. She was crazy. She brought China onto the world stage as an extremely powerful force. And, you know, she also got the court to shape up and stop being so corrupt. She really just went up to the world and said, stop it, shape up, come on. And the world said, yes, ma'am. And that's pretty dope. She was queen like near the end and also like near the end of the heights of the Silk Road, which meant there was lots of trade and lots of fun stuff, including arts, poetry, and fashion, because that's what this whole thing's about. So she was that one. She was the last one. And that's when clothes got a little looser and a little more free. And while the clothes got a little more like revealing, which isn't super Lolita, the idea of freedom in clothing, especially for women, is very Lolita. So lots of bonus points there. And she did do some murder to get to where she needed to be. But like, who's we to judge? Oh, we have a little. Oh, where are you going? Oh, she walked away. We have a little Zodiac surprise appearance. Bye, Zods. I love you. Okay, anyway. She did some murder. Not the best, but name one person on this list who didn't. And if the rumors are true, she did like kill her baby, but that was probably just propaganda. So, yeah, she was powerful. She was intelligent. She was elegant. She was ambitious, cunning, and charismatic, and charming. She saw the rules and gave them the little lip purse Meryl Streep did in The Devil Wears Prada. She defied expectations and challenged conventions. Overall Lolita score, 9 out of 10, -1 point because of the possibility that she did kill her baby. That is possible, and I points off for that. Okay, and lastly, I know this was quick. I didn't time this well. But anyway, lastly, we got Theodore, Teddy, Roosevelt, walking in with a big stick and then speaking softly. World's first teddy bear. So Rosie Man the First was the 26th president of the United States. He was considered a naturalist / conservationalist. He wanted to conserve the beauty of nature. I could go on for days about Ted and the founding of the National Park Service, but most of the days would be used talking about how there were people who already lived there, but we just don't have the time. He also formed the Rough Riders, which were some guys who fought Spain and Cuba or something. But the important thing is they had a really dope name. Points for that. Points for style. And boy, did he have a flair for style. He appreciated the aesthetic and beauty in the world. He also was responsible for the naming of teddy bears, because they're named after him. That is true. Because he was like out hunting and they were like, kill this bear cub. And he was like, no. And they're like, you're just a teddy bear. I don't know. But yeah, teddy bears are important in Lolita. Look at, like, they're really important. Like, they're really, really important in Lolita. Look at Little Bears Cafe, which is one of my favorite prints. Shout out to my girlfriend for teaching me what this is. But I like it, so don't at me. I got distracted by the... Anyway, he could be considered the founder of Yeehaw Lolita. And seriously, I cannot underestimate, like, he literally really liked the aesthetic. He liked the beauty of the world. I edited this part up, but I'm going to mention it because I don't want to get into anybody's anything. But he also kind of was like, let Lolita be a thing in a way because he did the Panama Canal, which allowed for a lot of globalized economy stuff. But it also exploited and destroyed Panama in a lot of ways. So it's a mixed bag, what this all is, because like literally every historical figure here I could go on and on about, because I didn't want to get really into it because we also didn't talk about the Silk Road and everything that did to create a globalized economy. Like, history's intricate. Anyway, I just thought it should be mentioned. I don't know. Now, I may get in trouble for this, but I was really conflicted. So he got a range. He got 6.5 to 8.5 out of 10 because I could not decide on this guy. I was just like, he had some good things, but then he's, it's like mixed. Anyway, conclusion. So in conclusion, while making this, I was surprised at how high all the rankings were. The rankings really came from my soul, and my soul said, overall, the score is 7.85 out of 10. I did do the math. I did make Teddy Roosevelt's 7.5 to be like the average of his range. And I also took out Catherine Howard because fight me isn't a number. But yeah, I guess it goes to show you that with endless resources, wealth, and servants, humanity just goes to Lolita. Gets Lolita. Just like how everything eventually turns into crabs evolutionarily. Crabs have evolved like multiple times. So the conclusion we can draw from this is that Lolita is the crabs of fashion. Peak performance. So this was inaccurate and badly researched. So if you'd like to learn more or learn anything at all, I recommend this panel from last night. That was really good, and I really liked it. So I suggest that one, Historical Fashion and Lolita, if you want to actually learn something. Also, I love history, and I'm a teacher, so this is my 5th time writing this, which is why it's very short, because I had to keep cutting things out, because I kept trying to teach everyone about history, and I'm like, A, I don't want to do research. B, that's not what this is. Literally, everyone was like, yeah, I like this version better because it's less history heavy, and they said that with every new version I got. Which reminds me, special thanks to Kim, my girlfriend, and to my sister, and to Mo, and to my mom for all listening to this a million times. And special thanks to my girlfriend for giving me history and Lolita information. And anti-thanks or special spite to my cat Zodiac for trying really hard to stop this, for distracting me, for attacking me, and for laying on my keyboard and notebook multiple times while I was working. Yeah. So there you have it. That was the Lolita, the Faux-lita, the latest Faux-lita. Oh, I don't know if she's over here. Zodiac! Zodi! She usually comes when she's called. She's very impressive. You're welcome. I'm glad you didn't learn anything. Not really. Well, it's mixed bag. Like history, it's a mixed bag. Oh, she ran away. She ran away. Zodiac! Zodi! Let's see if I can get her to come. Let's see if I can trick her into being over here. Zodiac, come here. Zodi, come. Zodi, come here. Zodiac. Zodiac attack. Oh, you did do the Zodiac attack. Okay, we got a kitty, everyone. She a mad kitty. But she the kitty. She mad kitty. Zodiac, your aunt asked. Your auntie. Oh, she's licking now. She's licking. She's not biting. She misses her aunt. Stop it. She is wiggly. She is very wiggly. She a wiggly little Zodi. Wiggly Zodi. Wiggly Zodi. She's about a year old. She's my little baby. Look at that little face. Thank you for not ruining this whole panel, my little one. Oh, yeah, you mad. She mad. Her little eyes, I know. She's such a little cutie. Every time I see a black cat, it'll be like a panther, and I'll be like, baby. Honestly, anytime I see an animal, I'm like, is that Zodiac? Just any animal. But yeah, that was my panel. Any questions? I will say this time I won't sing in my question segment, probably. I won't sing. I can't sing. But yeah. Who wants to know some rejected? Shut up, Jamie. I probably won't sing. But rejected candidates for this panel were Marie Antoinette, thought it was too obvious, which is why I put it in the if your favorite historical figure isn't mentioned. Because I was like, people might want Marie Antoinette, but I'm not mentioning her. Also, Louis XIV, the Sun King. Which founding father is the most Lolita? Oh, that's a good one. Because Thomas Jefferson really liked to dress fancy because he didn't like public speaking. So he tried to dress to make up for it. So Thomas Jefferson's got that. Hamilton has the fight me attitude of Lolita, so there's that. Washington has the elegance. They're all pretty Lolita, I would say. Which one's the least Lolita? It's John Adams, easy. I don't know why I even asked. It's John Adams. He's the least Lolita. Spineless. I don't know why I have strong opinions about John Adams. I don't feel like I should. Fun fact about Hamilton is in 8th grade, I was assigned a project where we had to fight like we were the Constitutional Convention or whatever. And I had to be Hamilton. And I was pissed because I was like, who's this nobody? I don't even know about him. And then I got really into the project and I ended up fighting his side really, really passionately, which I feel like I may have been possessed by Hamilton. I feel like I may have been. I just don't know. I was the first Hamilton. It's true, I was the first Hamilton. Should I stop screen sharing? Probably. Stop screen sharing. He does just possess people with his rage. That's how powerful it was. How do you think the musical got made? He just possessed Lin-Manuel Miranda. They've made a few about me. They've made a few musicals about me. Name most musicals. They're about me in some way. I was going to do a bit that I didn't put in here, which I should have. I'm not going to sing Hamilton. Shut up. I'm not going to sing Hamilton. There's a bit about how Roosevelt was president after McKinley got assassinated, and the guy who assassinated him looked like the kid who would grow up to assassinate a president. So look up his picture. I can't tell you his name because it was Eastern European, and I can't pronounce it, but Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy, the Schuyler sisters. That's what I'm going to do with Hamilton. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. I don't know. My favorite Hamilton song is The Room Where It Happens. You could get it going, but I didn't continue. Hamilton shoes. I like it. I actually, when I saw... he's not kawaii. I would agree. I really like him, but he's not kawaii. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you. When I saw Hamilton, I went in Lolita. Or maybe just my girlfriend did. I can't remember. No, I think I did too. What did I wear? No, I dressed just fancy. But she wore Lolita to Hamilton when we saw Hamilton. Not on Broadway because we're not rich, but Satisfied is a good one. Satisfied. He will never be satisfied. He will never be satisfied. So this is what it feels like to match wits with someone on my level. What the hell is the catch? It's the feeling of freedom of seeing the lights. Ben Franklin with the key and the kite. You see it, right? Conversation lasts 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Everything we said in total, agreement. It's a dream and it's a bit of a dance, a bit of a posture. He's a bit of a scance. He's a bit of a flirt, but I'm going to give it a chance. And I'm sorry. I support you, Cutapillar. Greyhounds are effort. And we just didn't know. And you can't be mad at past you because that's just a waste of time. It already happened. I'm not going to sing Girl in the Band by Haley Duff, Jamie. I've never been on a Greyhound, but I'm scared of them. Oh, pride for not singing Hamilton. I feel like if you worked at any I feel like if you know anything about any of the founding fathers and have opinions on any of them, you probably don't like Hamilton. It is a karaoke panel. I should just do a karaoke panel next time. So be like, okay, watch me sing badly for a little while. All my favorites, all the show tunes. I don't even know if I still know the lyrics to Girl in the Band. I'm the girl in the band. It is a karaoke panel. Next. The world looks good from where I stand. You hear me raise your hand for the girl in the band. Let the party begin. Feeling good inside my skin. The world at my command. I'm the girl in the band. I knew more lyrics than that I thought I would. I haven't heard that song in probably over a decade or a week. I don't know. It used to be my favorite song. KO stands for karaoke. The O stands for Okie. That's true. That's true, Meredith. I'm a fool and a liar. And that's just a fact. Well, we all knew I was gonna sing. I'm bad at singing, but I like it. Oh, no. I am a fraud. I'm a fraud, but I never claimed to be anything else. My name is Faux-lita. TrAshley the Faux-lita. It's in the name. It's faux. What did Jamie ask me to sing again? Because I thought of singing it. A Wonderful World. Oh, should I do my Louis Armstrong impression, Jamie? Should I do my Louis Armstrong impression? Okay. My best Louis Armstrong impression. As somebody who cannot sing like Louis Armstrong. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue. That's all I got. That's what I can do. Apologies. Apologies to everyone in the world for that. Most importantly, Louis Armstrong. That was my Louis Armstrong impression. I once tried to say the periodic table like one word in that voice. And the student teacher in the classroom thought I was doing a satanic chant. That was a deep memory to access. I don't even know what these panels are about. Jeez Louise. I don't know why you guys let me do this. I just did what? Almost 40 minutes of utter nonsense? Who gave me a platform? You're welcome, though. It is about anything I want it to be. That's the thing, is that you guys are like, who wants to say something? And I'm like, I won't shut up. But that's why I encourage you all to make your own Faux-lita panels to mock mine, because mocking is the best form of flattery or the best way to hurt my feelings, but make me feel honored that you like thought of me. I don't know. So I encourage you all to make your own. Try to figure it out. There should be a Faux-lita community. I think I know like 2 other Faux-litas. One of them used to be. Thank you. It's breath of fresh air. Breath of something kind of air. One of them used to be a Faux-lita. She's not anymore. But I do know another Faux-lita. She's really cool. She's my friend. She became a Faux-lita organically. Yes, Jamie, it is Anna. It is Anna. She is a Faux-lita. Everyone calls my course Faux-lita. Yeah, you may be a Faux-lita. The thing about being a Faux-lita is that it's a term you give yourself. You're like, I'm a Faux-lita. And somebody could be like, you're a real Lolita. And you could be like, stop it, Jamie. I'm not. You know? Exactly. There are no rules because it's fake. It's made up. If you wear Lolita, if you're like, I'm a Faux-lita, like most Faux-litas wear Lolita. Look what I'm doing. I'm wearing Lolita. I have a Lolita dress on. If you have 2 petticoats, you're on thin ice. You're on thin ice. It's okay. I'll allow it. I'm the judge and jury of Faux-lita. It's the appropriate time of confred or nonsense. It is. It is. That's why I always do them late at night. It's not confirmed. It's not, I never used it. I tried to make one once. I've never done anything on it. I don't have a real Lace Market account. Shut up. Jamie, gosh. I'm not a faux Faux-lita. I'm the OG Faux-lita. Can't be a faux Faux-lita for something you create. I created it. I will never not be a Faux-lita. I could be the most Lolita. I could be the most Lolita. Yeah, go to Meredith's shop now. Take a shot for Meredith, guys. I literally invented Faux-lita. I literally did. I will never not be a Faux-lita. That's the one thing. You can be a Faux-lita if you call yourself a Faux-lita, but for me, if I ever stop calling myself a Faux-lita, it doesn't count. I will forever be a Faux-lita. I'm a forever Faux-lita. Faux-ever-lita. I'm a Faux-ever-lita. Go spend all your money and take a shot for Meredith. Shots for Meredith. You know what? Here's my shot for Meredith because it's a double shot energy drink. Starbucks isn't representing me, but that was like 2 days old. It was bad. I think it's separated. Oh God. Next time on How to Be a Faux-lita, I name all the things that I've eaten or drank that I should not have. Just kidding. That would be a like 3-hour long panel. I'm sorry, everyone. It was. Can I start now? Well, I'm gonna bring it up before Jamie does. I ate chapstick as a kid. I did. The lip smackers. They had flavors. I liked the flavors. I ate chapstick as a kid. I won't bring up what Jamie ate as a kid out of respect, but I did eat chapstick as a kid. I did eat the flavors, but I didn't eat just like plain chapstick. Thank you. The flavors. I stopped after I tried. I think it was the Dr. Pepper one. I tried it and I was like, this put me off of it for good. I like Dr. Pepper too, but yeah, I didn't. The chocolate one was gross. I think the chocolate one was one that I like tried and I was like, I don't like this. And I like kept trying it and I was like, but I think, my favorite was like pink. I can't remember what the flavor was. Might have been cotton candy. I do like cotton candy things. It's pink. What else have I put in my mouth that I should not have? Oh, I don't like that phrasing. What else have I eaten or drank that I should not have? I used to drink when I was like 4 or 5. I would drink my mom's coffee when she wasn't looking. Similar to this moment. And one time I thought it was her coffee that she like had, and instead it was like 4-day-old coffee that she had put her cigarette out in, and I drank it. It wasn't until a couple months ago that I was able to start drinking coffee again. That was really scarring experience for me. I also, for anyone who's ever worked at a restaurant, it was a dare. You know those mats at the bar? It's got all the alcohol in them? We were cleaning them out and dumped all the liquid in a thing. I took a sip. Didn't taste very good. It was very salty because it was at a place that had a lot of margaritas. That wasn't good. I did. It was like the tiniest sip. I mostly just smelled it, but it was still horrifying. I was on the clock, so I kind of got paid. No, they did. They gave me $10 to do it. Yeah, I got money for it. I did. I got money for it. I did. I'm not gonna tell that one. Only 10. Yeah, only 10. It was a long day. I was just like, whatever, I'll try anything. I've eaten a lot of weird stuff. Tried Rocky Mountain oysters once. I tell people that story a lot, but I don't remember what they were like. I don't eat bugs and slugs. I've never eaten a bug on purpose. Like, I'm afraid I probably ate one in my sleep once, because I know that's a fake thing, but it sounds too much like it could be true. But I've never eaten a bug. I wasn't one of those kids that ate bugs on the playground. That really grossed me out. Oh, I did eat like crickets once, but like they were like the prepared ones that like they were like sour cream and onion crickets. So since it was prepared, it was fine. Yeah, I haven't caught any of my kinders eating a preschool. God. Eating a bug outside yet. We'll see. We'll see. I saw one eating their friend's Band-Aid, used Band-Aid. That was horrifying. Cannibalism school. Yeah. I wouldn't work there. Just my personal opinion. I wouldn't want to be around cannibals. Let me know. I was expecting you guys to tell me when to end. I was like, somebody's going to tell me to shut up eventually. Like, I've already gone into a weird place here. I don't know. There is no end. You guys just want to hear me ramble on about all the horrifying things I've done in my life. I don't think so. I don't think so. Where's my... I was going to tell you guys more of my... I do want to play Jackbox with you guys. I really do. I'm already dressed up. This already took me like 30 minutes to get together. I did. I could be drinking. What a twist. Anyway, I guess I should end it. 2 sips of beer. I think that counts. I think that counts as a shot. At my old restaurant I used to work at, it was a big beer restaurant. So you're welcome. You're welcome. But as a big beer restaurant, we were allowed to take shots of beer on the clock so that we could do beer taste testers. And a lot of people get drunk at work by just tasting all the beers because we had like 120 beers or something. So now I know a lot about craft beer for no reason. What's your favorite craft beer? Kona Big Wave or Odyssey Heliocentric? I'm a big fan of the Easy Drinkers. Anyway. I wish I was not sober. But I couldn't have done this if it was like that. So anyway, Jack of all boxes up next. Coming to you live from Rose Foray Fantasy Foray.